And the scenario is the burnout in healthcare for nurses. We created the support teams, but I want to start in a different way. I want to start with, how do we create value with this exercise? Why are we doing this? And what's the value of using the Power platform? And I'm using the business value matrix that sometimes we use, and everything starts with challenges. So if I'm a customer and I say, okay, let's focus first with a challenge. And in this case, the main 3 challenges are these in orange. And the first is that we have a lack of immediate visibility of the tasks that these nurses need to do. And also, they need to share the workload with others if they don't want to burn out for real. So we have a challenge. From the challenge, we say, okay, this is the challenge. What do we want to do? Which is the goal that we are trying to achieve. And the goal is, in this case, is to deliver a task visibility in real time so that the nurses can easily reassign some work to another person. And the third question is, okay, how do we do this? And we started thinking, like in our case, that we started using standard table to make it easy our life. Plus, we added some custom functions to reassign the work. The last column is, okay, now we know what we need to do, how, but with what? And this is concept I applied the better together on these columns, because depending on the challenge, we use a combination of solutions. And in this case, we use the Power App, out-of-the-box connectors, we use a flow, we use Teams, and we use native integrations. Let me go next one. On the technical explorations, as power users, what did we do? First thing we did, discuss the difference between a model-driven app versus a Canvas app. We tried both of them. At the end, we said, you know what? We want to use the Canvas because it gives us more options in terms of custom functions. And one was the photo, for example. And what we did next, we added some custom fields, but to a standard table that is the task. And finally, we created the power flow for the approval that we will show you. But what we did use predefined templates to make it our life easier. So our solution is, you will see it, it's a list of tasks that we already have, but where the nurse is going to assign. If the nurse feels super overwhelmed, it's okay, I need to assign this task to someone else. I cannot do it. And another issue that you will see in the challenge is that many times the approval of this task is too slow. And so we integrated the approval directly into a chat. And then we created, like others, also they show a dedicated team where we can chat with our coworkers to ask for help. Hey, can you help me with this task? I cannot make it today. And also sharing content like we said, copying tools and other useful little help. The demo that is we are going to show you is initially nurse Sarah. Sarah tried already the 5 minutes meditation. Yeah, she tried. But after the meditation, she said, you know what? I'm sorry, meditation. No, I cannot do it. I need to assign this work to someone else. And so you will see that all together in teams, the nurse is going to have immediate visibility of tasks to perform. The nurse can assign a task to different coworkers if feeling overwhelmed, chatting and maybe asking for help in a group. And then having always in a chat communication that is immediate for the manager approval. And possibly also content integration with SharePoint or other tools. And the main final goal is to have eventually employee satisfaction, that it will become less burnout and automate better care for the patients.
So right now we're under that persona of Sarah, the burned out nurse. She can't keep going. She's not gonna be able to get to all this today, and just needs a little bit of assistance. So we built in kind of her task list, and just to keep it light and fun, we put some of our pets as the pictures. So ignore that part. That was a little bit for our own edification. And Sarah can come over here and just go ahead and search for Molly to reassign this task. And if she needed to add any description or details, she could go ahead and type them here and just hit save changes. And as we mentioned, what that's doing is a couple of things. So I'm going to kind of switch personas over to Molly here. And it's first going to drop a reassignment card into Teams to either be approved or rejected. So the idea is that the flow would go and find the manager of the user who submitted this request and do a quick approve or reject. We got a little tight on time, so you can see this is kind of a GUID right now, but we could obviously mock up this card to provide some baseline details. So if I just hit approve that, we can add any comments we need and submit it. And then what we've done is, if I do a quick refresh, we've moved that task over to the task list of Molly now, and it's in an approved state, and we've got the same information here for Molly to move through her checklist. So a single Power App, Canvas app built in a tablet form, and then we've got a single flow as well. This being that flow that I was talking about. I'll show you that in the edit form to see what we're doing there. Maybe I'll show you what it's like in the edit form. Let me see.
A little slow.
Okay, here we go.
There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, it's triggered when we, from that, we mentioned the Dataverse table, we're using the task. So it's triggered when we add, modify, or delete a task. And then we have to get that manager of the assigned nurse. We go ahead and post that approval to Teams as a bot, or as a flow bot, I guess. And then there's just a simple condition to say, based on approved or rejected, we update the row accordingly based on the input from the manager to make sure that we can offload that. And obviously, if we're kind of going to the next level, the manager might have some options to maybe approve but reassign. So maybe we don't want to necessarily have Sarah dump everything on Molly, so she could distribute or triage those things in that nature. So